And people just don't get that. Right, okay, so here we go. Here we are at the beautiful Let's Hub.
Yes.
With the wonderful Aimee. Thank you so much for having me, Aimee.
No, thank you.
This feels way too formal now.
I know,
considering
right?
we've just been chatting for an hour.
I know.
We had a podcast.
We have a podcast already done.
No, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting me down here and doing the podcast and just all around being awesome. I can't thank you enough.
Me, man.
Well, you say thank me. Like, I wouldn't be doing a lot of stuff that I do without the support of you guys, and like just the inspiration that you gave me at the first community awards I attended.
I know, it seems like a lifetime ago, really.
You know what I mean? Hello everybody, welcome to Luton's Deadpool podcast with me, Luton's Deadpool, and my guest today, Aimee from Community Interest Luton.
Hey guys.
Look at you, you're amazing.
I don't know about that.
You're so amazing. And firstly, before we properly kick off, can I just say, unlucky with yesterday.
It's alright.
But at the same time, just to be nominated is such a tremendous honour.
It is 100%. The fact that someone was like, Aimee deserves to be up there. That was enough. That was enough for me. I was like, thanks.
Trust me, I spoke to a lot of people last night, and everybody said that you deserve to win.
Oh, that's sweet.
So you won in the eyes of the people.
Other people's choice.
Yeah, it's just them judges. And listen, judges, I'm coming for you because, so I swear down, next time you best think twice about who you're voting for, because Aimee deserves to win everything she enters.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So Aimee, we're in the Let's Hub building. So can you tell me a little bit about it? What is Let's Hub?
So the Let's Hub is an employment hub. So we help people back into work. We give them kind of CV writing, one-to-one mentoring with the team here. They can come and set up job sites. Anyone can come in and just use the computers, really. Yeah. Because obviously you can go to the library, but you only get an hour free. Whereas we're open Monday to Friday. You can just walk in and say, "Can I use your computers?" And so it's more about getting people. It is about getting people back into work, but it's also looking at kind of the wider issues that could be, okay, so why are you employed? What's happened? Where can we help? It might be that we have to refer you back out to somewhere else that you can get that more bespoke support. Then you come back to us for the employment help and CV writing and interview prep and you name it, really. The team here kind of do a bit of everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been following what you guys do for the longest time, and it's such a tremendous achievement to have this building here and to be doing the things that you do for the people in the town. It's honestly beautiful. There's a lot of people that I'm sure are very, very grateful to you guys, especially during the pandemic as well. Oh my gosh.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
We kind of, we only shut for a couple of weeks, and then the demand was just so it was crazy that we were like, we can't. So obviously we made it safe. We had the screens up, the hand sanitizer, everything, obviously limiting how many people were in at a time, but also trying to manage all the people that wanted that help. Yeah. But we did it, and then we were kind of doing the food parcels, and it was very busy during the pandemic, considering everyone was
everyone's supposed to be at home and stuff.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of although we were really busy, but we know that the town and people in our town needed help, and that's kind of what I feel like. That's what community interest is. Like, everything we do is to better the community or to help people in the community, and that's the forefront. If we're helping someone, then that's enough for us. Yeah, it's not like you've got actual a target or in terms of finances or anything like that, what you're trying to achieve. It's just the whole aspect of helping people. That's it. So simple. It's a beautiful idea as well. Like what Mustaq came up with all them years ago, and getting great people like yourself involved. I mean, you've worked with Mustaq for a very long time now. 12 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was 16 when I started.
Yeah.
16. I'm 28 now. I'm 29 this year. So
well, that's a very very cool thing to have. I mean, you're very lucky. I've obviously met Mustaq a good few times now, and he's such a lovely man. He really is. And
I think he has taught me. He's taught me a lot. Like, not being funny, when I was 16, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was in college, and I remember it was actually Sophia that turned around to me and was like, "Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay," thinking what sort of job are you going to give me? Because Sophia knew that I was kind of good at organising and arranging things, because I used to sort stuff out in college. And then kind of went and met Mushtaq, and that was it. It was kind of like it just stuck, and then obviously time's gone on, and I've grown and developed myself, and he's given me opportunities, and I think that's all someone needs to give anybody. Like, if you give someone an opportunity, it's then up to them what they do with that. And
that belief and stuff in somebody is so important, isn't it? And
I think, like, as a 16-year-old that didn't have a clue what she wanted to do in her career or in life, he kind of was like, well, just see if you like it. If you like it, then great, and if not, then it's cool. But I found you can just sense the passion of that community from him, and it felt nice to belong to something that was just making a difference. And I think that's kind of what I like about my job. And like, because everyone always says to me, like, you've been there forever, and I'm like, but I love my job, and there's not many people that can say that. But I love what I do, because it means that I get to help make a difference, whether it's in the town or to an individual or like to a group, like whatever it may be. They've given me a platform that I can help.
Well, let me tell you this: you have definitely made a difference.
I try.
You've not just made a difference in terms of the people that you help, but my God, your name is all over this town. I cannot go anywhere without hearing really positive things about Aimee.
I mean, it's good that it's all positive.
Yeah, you do. You get like lots and lots of good positive stuff said about you, and I'm not surprised. Whenever your name comes up in conversation, because it does all the time. I swear, I said to you before the show that you're far more famous than me.
I'm not.
Oh my God, miles and miles and miles.
No
way. I've met people and they have no idea who I am, and as soon as I say, well, I know Aimee from Community, they're just like, yeah, oh no, I know Aimee, and Amy's amazing, and Amy's this, and Amy's that. God. And it's so nice to hear, because you are everything that people say. There's sometimes with people that you hear about and stuff in the town, and they're apparently these amazing people and all of this stuff, and then you meet them and you're like, you're not that cool. You're not actually that cool. I've seen you all over Twitter and stuff, and you look really cool, but in person you're quite boring. Do you know what I mean? but with you are genuinely the whole package, and it's like, Phil Rainey is like your biggest fan.
Absolutely, shout out Phil.
Yeah,
love
Phil.
You.
I love you, Phil, as well. And Phil's a big fan of the podcast, so I know Phil's watching right now.
Big love for Phil.
Yeah, Phil. Seriously, you're a big inspiration to a lot of people in town. 100%. Definitely me, and I'm sure you to Aimee 100%. As well. 100%. But then it's like you feed off of each other, because the things that Phil tells me about you, obviously Phil's known you for longer than what I have. So
do you know what? I feel like between kind of Phil and like Hanan, especially even Hanan, they're my little hype squads. Like you speak to them, it's like, no, you're amazing. I'm like, no, like I always say to people that I'm a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, you're a shark, and I'm like, that was Hina's line. Hina was the one that said to me, no, you're a shark, and I was like, what? Yeah. No, I'm just a fish. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Like I do what I do because I like it. And I don't, like, I'm quite happy to be behind the scenes and, like, not out there in the whole, like, for the whole world to be like, oh yeah, that's about me. Like, I'm not all about the fame.
Yeah.
But it's nice that people see what I do and it makes them happy, or they're, proud to be, I don't know, associated with me, or whatever it may be. And I've met some great friends along my whole journey. And I've also met people that have taught me lessons. I'm not going to say that they're bad people, but they've taught me
that maybe show you how to be rather than how not to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I think when you're in the community, like, there's this whole, you have to be a certain way, you have to carry yourself a certain way. I'm just like, look, I am who I am. Like, you either like it or you don't. I'm like Marmite. That's it. Like, I can't pretend to be, this. I'm not a big-headed person. That's another thing. Like, I really try to hide and not be.
No, I know that. I can confirm that without a doubt. It's been very difficult to get you to be on the podcast.
I was like, I want to hide. Like, that's not me.
Yeah, because you're a humble person. I appreciate that. It's a good thing. I think the whole small fish mentality that you say, this, I mean, firstly, yeah, I agree. You're not a small fish by any scratch of the imagination, but because you like the idea of being that.
Yeah.
And just being a part of the cog that, like, is helping the whole mechanism work.
Yeah.
It's like that makes you so special, because a lot of people, when they hear all this nice stuff, it starts to inflate their ego, and then it just turns nasty. And the one thing I will say, as a counter to what you said, you are not like Marmite, because everybody loves you. So you are the opposite of Marmite. I don't even know what there is in the world where everybody loves. Oxygen, maybe.
Oxygen, okay,
water,
I'm the oxygen guy.
No, some people don't like water, actually. But oxygen, everybody likes oxygen.
You all need it, so.
Yeah, I don't think we think about it that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you was put to the test, what do you like and what do you not? I'm pretty sure everyone's saying yes to oxygen. Yeah. So yeah, Aimee's like oxygen. Everybody loves it.
You heard it fresh from the
No, but you make it seem so easy. I know personally, like from seeing you work and talking to you before the awards and after the awards and seeing the stress that happens in between, and it is not easy to do what you do. And I think that's what makes people so endeared to you as well, because they understand that, my God, you are such a hard worker. And you carry yourself as if you're not working hard, as if it's just fun and like it's easy, and it definitely isn't.
Don't get me wrong, like sometimes it is actually insane. Like when there's so many things going on, it can be so manic. But obviously, like I've got Mushtaq, I've got Donna, I've got kind of all the guys that work at the hub, the guys that are at the curry kitchen, like everyone, we're all playing a piece in this puzzle of what community interest is, and we all make it work. And I couldn't even do it without my friends. Like I've made a great group of friends, and every single one of them has played such a massive part. And I think like without my team, my little squad,
you've got a great team, I have to say. And do you know what? It's actually really funny because we messaged the other day because I was supposed to have someone from Peace Initiative on, right? And do you know what? Here I am.
Sorry.
The amount of groups that I message, and then I find out it's just Aimee. It's Aimee behind it.
It's me.
Every time we're like, I'm messaging you. I have no idea that it's you. You knew it was me the whole time, but yet
I know, and I feel so bad.
We didn't cross. That was so funny.
I'm like, oh, Deadpool's message. Okay, who can I be today? I need to be somebody. But not being funny, I have to say, it was the same with the Young Steps as well. That's I know. Shana to message you.
I know. When I messaged that, I was like, oh yeah, these are a great group. I wonder what they do. And I'm like, oh, they're connected to community interest. I wonder if Aimee's got anything. And I'm talking to you. That's the person I messaged.
I was trying so hard to just play it cool. And
you do it every time. This is the thing. Like I remember back when I first messaged the Peace Garden Initiative, and I had no idea it was you. That's who I was talking to the whole time, right?
That's me. It literally, and I'm like, okay, like you need to try and talk a bit differently so that people don't cotton on that issue on all these accounts.
Yeah,
but
that's so funny.
We will get hopefully Sujan on and Riyadh, because
I would love to have either of them.
Both of them. To be fair, the whole community makes the Peace Garden.
Yeah.
Like it's a community thing. It's all for them, but they are kind of the founders of making the
driving force. Yeah.
Like again, Sujan and Riyadh, they're two amazing people in the community.
Yeah, I love both of them
for the community.
Yeah, I mean we're very lucky, aren't we? Like in this town. I was talking to Kev from ABCD last night. See, I just love it. And we just all know each other.
Everyone knows everyone, man.
It's brilliant. But I'm sorry, I've got a hair in my mouth.
That's a problem.
This is a first.
Interesting.
Oh God, this is horrible. I can't get rid of it.
Please do not cut this out.
Oh God, it's like right in there. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh God, there's loads of them. Oh, now I've just knocked my mic off.
Oh, mic drop.
Brilliant.
That was a mic drop moment, guys.
Oh, do you know what? Let's Yes, we're still rolling. I've just got to touch the screen. Do you know about that? My whole touching the screen.
Do you know what? I've seen you get up a few times, like through the other podcasts. Because obviously I've watched your podcast because I find them interesting. So I just tap, like I see you get up and tap it, and I'm like, interesting.
Okay, so here's the thing about that. I'm not a technology person at all.
Yeah.
In case you haven't noticed already, through
I
the
think you're doing very
rubbishness of my setup.
You're doing very well. I've listened to the first podcast, and we're now here.
Yeah.
And you've progressed massively, so I'm very impressed.
No, thank you. That's sweet of you to say. I think today's episode 36.
Episode 36.
Yeah?
Nice.
I know. How crazy is that? It's flown by. Like, I've made 36.
I remember episode 1. Never mind episode 36.
Episode 1 wasn't even video. I hadn't even figured out that yet. Like, it's actually really funny because I didn't know that I could just record it on my phone. I thought I had to have a specific app.
Yeah.
And the app wouldn't let me record on video for some reason. And I just went through about a week of hell of trying to prep, and the days were running out. And I was having Sabine from Bedfordshire Hospital Charity onto the podcast. I just needed to get it right. Hadn't even tested it. The first one when I done with Sabine, that was the test.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then the second one with Shaq, that was the test for the video. I've never actually tested it out.
So
I just am testing. Yeah, I'm testing as we're filming.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best way of learning.
Yeah,
I agree. If it works, then great. If it doesn't, then we'll find something else.
I totally agree. That's like how I base like most of the stuff that I do is based on my mistakes. You know, like I think I don't know what's wrong with people in nowadays that we're so embarrassed of our mistakes.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like the worst one for me at the moment is people with pictures. Yeah. Like, I kind of miss the days of when I'll go on holiday and we put a film into a disposable camera.
And you do that little twisty thing.
You take the picture and you have no idea if it's good.
Yeah.
No idea, yeah? You go back home after your holiday, you wait 2 weeks for the film to be developed, or a week, or however long it was. I don't know. I was a child, yeah? I don't know how long it took. But it would take a long time. It took a long time. And then you get your picture and you'd be like, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
Blurry. That's got that light thing.
There's only one good picture out of like 30. And you're like, well, I guess they're all going in the album now because we can't go back on holiday. Do you know what I mean?
It's true though. Like,
I kind of miss that.
I think it's, as you say, like things have just progressed so fast and everything's like, oh, we need to take a Snapchat filter and we need this and we need that. And that's the perfect angle. And I've seen people taking pictures like sitting on the floor and like, getting that angle. And I'm like, Dad, like take it.
It's crazy.
I'm a one-take photo. Let's just take it.
Me too.
If it's great, then great. And if not, then
I had it yesterday when I was out fundraising, and this group of kids come up. I say kids, like I sound so old now. They're about 17. No, they're about 17. I call them kids. I don't know why. I just do. But anyway, they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, can we take a picture?" I was like, "Yes, sure, come on." So they come over. They're getting ready. They're like, oh, no, the light's not right. The light's not right. I'm like, I get it, because you don't want the light to be locked and you just don't see anything. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we need the filter on, doing the filter. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, can we just get this over with?
Let's go, guys.
Do you know what I mean? And then like, snap, take about 8 different pictures of the same pose. Like, we've not moved the whole time. But whatever, okay, fine, I don't mind. Off they go, happy as Larry. And then about 2 minutes later, they come back. Oh, no, none of them are usable. I was like, okay, can I see? They were perfectly fine pictures. But we had to do the whole thing again. Oh. So we took all the pictures again. Then off they went again. And about 2 hours later, they came back and it was like, we need to do it again because it just didn't come out right. And I've looked at the difference between all the pictures because I just wanted to see. I was like, can I just see? They're all the same. There wasn't a difference.
Oh,
I don't know what these kids are seeing that I'm not seeing. Like, is it just my brain isn't developed anymore and I'm just not keeping up with what's going on?
You're not keeping up with the trends now.
You know what I mean? No, I hate it all personally. Like, like I shouldn't. I don't know if I should say that.
I hate it already, guys.
No, but I hate social media. I really do. I like the positive part of social media, which is like I found out about you because of social media. Yeah, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you if it wasn't for social media.
That's a fair point.
I wouldn't know about.
We might have crossed our paths at some point.
I'm sure we've crossed paths. I'm sure we must have
at some point.
Times. But yeah, it's like I wouldn't know about people like Phil Rainey, and I wouldn't know about the stuff that Luton Town Council does. That's good. I would still hate the town council. Do you know what I mean? For kind of good reasons to a certain extent. But there are really good people there. And you wouldn't know about them without social media. No. So it's got its benefits, but like I don't like the whole. It's just making people too individualistic, right? Like I think that it is really important to be an individual in the world, But you know what's way more important is being part of a community. Yeah, you know what I mean. And social media can destroy community.
It can massively.
Yeah, because it makes you just this individual rather than.
Funny. You also when you're on social media, like especially when you're part of a community, like you have to watch what you post, how you post it, how you word it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not joking. There's sometimes I sit there like when I'm posting on the socials, and I'm like, can I say that? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
From my personal account, I'll just say what I want. I'm a very honest person. I just say how it is. If you like it, then great. If you don't, then also great. But when you're kind of managing like certain social media aspects of like businesses and communities and whatever,
you can't say certain things.
And you can't, you know, you can't retweet certain things, although you personally believe that's right, but you're not. That's not my personal account. That's my community account.
Exactly, that makes sense.
Therefore, it's got to be, you know, accepting of everything, and not, you can't kind of post out, you know, political views or religious views or I don't know, any personal
even though
views.
like realistically that could add so much to the conversation of what's going on, but then it's like
cause a riot as well.
Could as well. I mean, I battled with that for a while because I was like, what do I do? Like, if I've got an opinion, should I keep it to myself, or do people want to hear it? And like, I'm kind of maybe people want to hear it because, you know, I'm a guy in a superhero costume. I'm sure people want to see what my point of view is on things, right? So I have become a bit more like that. I did get into a bit of an argument with someone on Twitter.
That this morning.
I couldn't help it. I got so angry.
I was thinking like,
I put my phone down after the last one. I put my phone down. I'm not responding anymore.
This is where you're like, listen, mate. And I was like, that is it.
I went a little bit far, but then do you know what? It's like, do not insult my town. Do not insult my town, especially if you're from here. Like, my God, we've got enough problems. We do not need you to add to it. Do you know what I mean?
No, like, and that's the thing, like, you know, like, even when you were saying the other, you know, when you were talking about let's show, and Sarah started that thing about the photos and let's show what's wonderful in our town. There is so many great things in our town that people probably don't know about or don't see or whatever. And I suppose that's the positive side of social media, is that we got to see all of that. And then Luton News obviously put out those 16 important pictures, which you made.
I love that. Yeah, I know.
Love that. Like, the fact that I was like, listen, of course he's made it. Come on, man.
I was so happy when they said that.
And it's such a cute photo. You know, love that with the blue socks.
I know, right? I know. They got me with as you go further down, there's one with me and some kids as well. And the kids were so sweet. And God bless Tony, who was the photographer that day from Luton News. He's such an amazing man. He makes sure he gets all the permissions from parents and stuff, and he's really legit and like professional. But not only that, he takes the best photos. He's just so good. So yeah, I love you, Tony. Big yourself up, and thank you for coming out and doing that for me and putting it out to Luton News. I think that they said they want to do something more, and I can't say too much at the moment, but there'll be something maybe in the next couple of days that will come out, and hopefully it can shed some light on some of the stuff that I believe in. And
that's good, and I think that's I think we, as you say, we've got some great things in our town.
We do,
and we've got great people in our town, and that should be showcased, and not all the madness that goes on that, you know, with the worst town in the world.
Well, I'm kind of hoping, like, so someone said to me before, right? It's just the stupidest thing. I get so many dumb questions asked to me at times, right? But, you know, question's a question in my eyes. There are no stupid questions, right?
No, there's not.
There's funny questions. So this person said to me, how would you feel if, like, another Deadpool popped up? I was like, that'd be great.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love it. I was like, they said, what about if another Spider-Man popped up or a Batman pops up or da-da-da? I was like, yeah, I'd love it. Like, as long as they have the same ethos as me. Yeah. If somebody just comes out dressing like that because they think, oh, he's gotten big because of this, I'm going to do the same thing. And they don't have the same ethos and they just show everybody who they are. And then I'll be a bit annoyed because then you're kind of taking a dump on all of the work that I've done, right? So I would be a little bit offended if it was like that. But ultimately, like, I just want more people to do good. Like, my podcast, I created this just for the pure fact that I want people to hear great voices in this town. It's not about me, I promise. If anybody out there thinks that I'm doing this because I want some fame or respect or anything, it's nothing to do with that. It's because I want you to know who Aimee is, or I want you to know who Phil Rainey is, or I want you to know who Hanan is, or whoever the people are that I get on. I want you to know about them and to be inspired by them. And if someone creates another podcast that's a positive Luton podcast, I will be thrilled.
Yeah, of course. And
you know what I'm saying?
Like, and it's something, actually, you know, someone said to me the other day, like, real recognize real.
Yeah.
Like, so when you know, the fact that if someone else came out and done a podcast, you wouldn't be bitter about it.
I would love it. I'd support it so much. This is great.
I'm here for this. And I guarantee they'd be like, yeah, come and talk.
I would love it. Yeah.
We want to know about you.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about supporting each other, not getting bitter and twisted about, oh, well, they're doing that, so we're doing this, or we're doing this and they're doing that. Like build people up.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing something similar, then, you know, work together, or, you know, just empower each other and not like knock each other down for no reason.
Do you know what? Like I always think as well, because it's quite interesting. Obviously, when I first started out, nobody knew who I was, like at all, and nor should they have. Like, I'm not trying to say like people should have, but you know, when I first started, nobody knew who I was. So I've literally built this from absolutely nobody respecting or following or just thinking I'm a joke at first, to now people like really get the whole process of like
people
what
love
I'm doing.
You, man.
I don't know about love.
Hands down, I'm the biggest fan. I don't care. I'm just putting it out there. I don't care what anyone else is. I'm the biggest fan.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I'm your biggest fan, Aimee. I swear down. That. Well, actually, I'm probably gonna have to fight people for that title. No. We're gonna host an annual Who Loves Aimee More fight, and it'll be like a Royal Rumble in the middle of St George's Square, and the winner gets to say that they are Aimee's biggest fan.
Oh no, there would not be that many people.
No, there really is. You just don't know. It's crazy. It's like I would love to know like what people like. I would love to be just another guy in Luton, and there's a superhero. I'd love to know what that feels like, but I never will. It's like you can never observe what you're doing. Yeah. So whatever you think about you, trust me, it's wrong, because everybody knows about you, and what people say it's not super important, obviously, but when it's such positive stuff, it is important. I tend to, when people say negative stuff, right? Okay, sometimes people can be right when they say negative stuff, but ultimately it can come from a place of bitterness, and jealousy maybe. But when people say positive stuff, the only reason to do it is because you mean it. You know what I mean? And I've never heard a bad thing said about you this whole time.
That's good.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
If you hear bad things, please tell me.
I will, 100%. But that person won't be found, because once they say it to me, they will be in the bottom of a river somewhere.
So be careful.
Yeah, don't you ever badmouth Aimee around me.
Oh, bless. No, it's nice. Like, as I said, kind of, I think my walk of life has kind of helped me, I suppose, partly be the person I am. Like, and I think it's one of them things that, like, you can give, the best thing you can give someone is time. Or, like, you know, listening to someone, or, you know, it doesn't have to be anything financial or anything like that. All it takes is for you to be like, I'm here, I'll listen, or I'll do this. And I think that's one thing that I like, I suppose, about my role and me as a person, is that I give my time to anyone and everyone. Like, if someone rang me at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, I need to talk to you, I'd be like, yeah, I'm there. Like, let's talk. Because I think that's important to give someone. Like, give someone your time. If you can't give them anything else, give them your time, or, you know, support them any way you can. Like, even if it's going back to the whole social media stuff, even if it's retweeting something someone said, or sharing it, or boosting it out, then do it, because it's that added little bit that you've done a bit to help that person.
That's a great point. I really like that. Like, you know, when I'm fundraising, this is probably one of the reasons why I don't make as much fundraising as what I potentially could, because when people come out to me, I, like, say for instance, like today I had, I'm going to give a shout out to the person that actually came out, Molly. She's a fan from Instagram, and I think she follows me on Twitter and TikTok. I can't remember.
Nice.
But anyways, Molly's great, and she's been there since day one. She's part of a very small group of people who started following me very early on, and is still here to this day.
Love
and
that.
She comes out and says hello to me in town and stuff, and we chat for a bit. But today she came out and we talked for about an hour and a half. And because of that, I didn't really collect, because I was just chatting to Molly. But this is my mantra in life, is that, like, I don't know how bad that other person might want to talk to me, and or might need to talk, and might not need to talk to me, but might just need to get stuff off their chest, and they might have been carrying a weight around with them, and just the act of talking is the act of lightening the load. You know what I mean?
100%. And I think that's also something that happens in the hub. Like, we have people who come in and sometimes they just want someone to talk to. And the guys at the hub will sit there and they'll listen, and they might not need employment support or, you know, anything like that, but they've come in, oh yeah, I need help with my CV, but also X, Y, and Z is happening, and they just need to get it off their chest.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important. Like, it's important to listen to people and kind of, just give someone your time. I think if that is my thing. Like, if you can give anything to anyone, give them your time.
Yeah. I mean, can I ask you what made you the way that you are? Because you're just fantastic and amazing, and I don't know how. What I love about this town is it throws out surprises. Like, really, we shouldn't be creating the people that we create, considering the pain that is in this town and the hurt.
That was something you said. I remember you saying it once, and I can't remember it word for word, but you basically said, like, we are as amazing as we are because of the trauma that we've been through. And that is, the moment you said it, I was like, that's so true. Because for me personally, like, I kind of moved out of home quite young. I was 16, and kind of went kind of house to house because I was still in uni at the time, college in the time, sorry. I was going kind of from house to house, like, went to my grandma's in the end, stayed there for a few years. Then I wanted to go uni, and my grandparents wanted to go to live in Lowestoft, which it's always been their dream to live by the seaside. And I was like, I'm not going to be the person to stop you, so off you go. And like, my nan was so worried that, what are you going to do? Where are you going to live? How are you going to be? And I was like, I'm going to be fine. It's okay. It's okay. And at the time, I was like, I really don't know what I'm doing, but okay, we'll make this work. And I remember, like, my nan left, and because I was still like in uni, the council couldn't help me because I was getting government funded because I was at uni. So they were like, look, you basically, I had about a month left of university, so it was kind of like, you need to stay somewhere for a month, and then we can help you. So I was like, okay, cool. So I kind of went from my sisters to my best friend's house, and me and my best friend Shanique, we've been friends since we were like 6. So living with her was a piece of cake. I was there for quite a while, and then eventually I got a place in Impact, across the road, which is now it's now Impact, but it was YMCA when I was there.
Yeah,
and I was there 8 or 9 months before I got my flat where I live now, and I think those 8 or 9 months taught me a lot about people. And I think also kind of helped towards me and my understanding of people who walk from different lives, because I've seen my fair share of people from different walks of life and different things they've been through, but living in a hostel with people who have all got different types of trauma and distress and loads of different things going on, you get to see things from their point of view, and you get to kind of not walk in their shoes, but maybe walk beside them to see their, because I can never sit here and say that, oh yeah, I can walk a mile in that person's shoes, because I probably couldn't. But I'll walk beside them, and I'll happily walk that mile to understand why you are how you are, how you've got here, why you're here, what are you going to do to, I don't know, get better, or, get out of this place, because you don't want to be stuck in a hostel for your whole life.
Of course.
You want to, have your own place, or, be living with your friends or something. So I think for me, when I left, I was a bit sad when I left, actually, because of certain people that I left behind. But we still stay in contact, and we're still kind of friends now. But it taught me a lot, because I saw some crazy things.
Yeah, I bet.
That I wasn't really used to, or kind of, because I like to say I'm quite quiet and quite soft, and living in a hostel is not always quiet and soft.
No, I bet not.
It's crazy.
The thing is, you're the sweetest thing as well. Like, I just hate the idea of you being in a situation that's stressful. Like,
when I say stress,
because you're just such a bubble of energy and joy. And like, I just, this is what's confusing for people who don't live here, is that we can produce someone like you, considering you being in that situation. Like, it should have dampened all of that joy and energy that you have. Do you know what I mean?
And I think, at one point, there was a point where I was just like, I am done. Like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot be happy and chirpy and bubbly all the time. But the fact that I had my job, that I feel like that helped, and the fact that obviously, like, I've got my religion as well, and that plays a massive part. Of me as a person. Like,
well, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, we talked about it a bit beforehand, and I don't want to make you just keep regurgitating things we've already talked about.
Everything is spoken about.
Do you know what? I think that in a way, it's a bit with yourself being white girl, white Irish girl, and Muslim. It raises so many questions in people's minds, right? I won't lie. The first time that I met you, I was so confused.
What are you?
Because you got the island band.
Oh yeah, I've got my island band down here.
Yeah, exactly. You got the bands on, but then you got the headscarf on, so it completely throws me because I've never seen those two worlds interacting, and I go to Ireland all the time.
Oh, I love Ireland.
It's
Ireland
great.
is home,
It's
man.
great. Yeah, I know. I
Like,
love it.
honestly, you know anyone's welcome there.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Anyone can go there.
Yeah,
They're just cool people.
they are. They're the best.
And I think
people.
that's another thing that I suppose part of that as well, like kind of the Irish in me, makes me the person I am, because they're very bubbly, welcoming people, and I've grown up with that. Like I've grown up with, you know, like especially my Irish family. Anyone's welcome to the house. You want to come have a cup of tea? You want to have whatever. Like my uncle's always saying to me, like, "Oh, you can bring your friends over. It's not a problem." My auntie's like, "Yeah, you're welcome. Come anytime." And I'm like, "You've never met my friend, and bring them over. They're family to you. They're family to us."
Yeah.
And that's something that I adore my family for, is the fact that, you know, that they've never met my friends, but the moment that they've said, "Well, if they're your family, then they're our family," and that's the thing. And I'm like, "Oh, great." So I'm like, "Guys, let's all go on holiday. Like, let's go home." But I think, yeah, like, I feel like Islam, I feel like I was guided at the right point in my life, because I was going through hell, like absolute hell. And I feel like God kind of knew that and was like, "Look," like they say, like he found you lost and guided you. And I feel like that I was lost and I did find my way. And now I don't know where I'd be without it. Like Islam is such a fundamental point in my life that I think about my actions and everything like that. Like, okay, so where how does that impact me?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I wouldn't be without my religion.
That's
like,
beautiful.
It's
beautiful.
Faith is such a massive part to me.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, obviously Islam itself is peace and it's love and it's, you know, giving and being there for people and supportive, and it's just for me it's a beautiful religion, and it's kind of it's kind of, I suppose, gave me a purpose as well.
Yeah.
And made me feel I feel like I'm part of something, a much bigger something.
Yeah, no, I can tell. I can definitely tell.
It takes a massive, I don't know, I feel like I've got somewhere to go when, you know, when times are tough, everyone kind of, you know, it's like, where do you turn?
Yeah.
Where for me, like when things are tough, like I pray about it. And not many people can say that.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Whereas, you know, for me, I'm like, okay, tough times, whether it's tough times, good times, whether you're crying, whatever it may be, I know that I can find myself on a prayer mat and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Regardless, even if I'm sobbing my heart out, once I'm finished praying or whatever, I'll feel this sense of like, I'm okay. It's going to be okay. Things are going to get better. This is just part of your journey. This is part of your test. And I'm quite happy with that.
No, that's amazing. You speak so well about it. And I mean, you know, obviously I've grown up in Luton, yeah? And I actually, like, the first place where I lived in Luton was bang in the centre of Berry Park.
Love that.
You know the ride-ins, the little bit. It's opposite Venue Central.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just after you got the little bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
And you turn right, and there's the ride-ins, yeah.
Yes,
the block of flats there,
about.
yeah. That's where I grew up. That was my home. Like from the age of, like, I don't know, I can't remember. It's up until I was about 4 or 5 or whatever. But that's where I spent the majority of my very early life growing up. And then I moved to Stopsley, and then I spent from then until 16 sort of age being there. And then after that, I literally lived in basically every borough of Luton after that, because I got kicked out from 16. It was go get a job or go to college. I done both, but then I got fired, and that was so. Then it was like, get out, and then like I say, I hopped around, and I'm very, very lucky, because if I would have just grown up in Stopsley, which is a predominantly white area when we was growing up, I probably would have had the same misconceptions about Islam that my friends do, who I grew up with. Because, you know, when I talk about, it's so funny, I say to people, oh, I'm going down to discover Islam today to go and help in their curry kitchen.
Yeah.
And people say to me, are you becoming Muslim now?
Wow.
And I'm like, firstly, if I was, what's the problem? Yeah. If I was, there's no problem with that for me. But secondly, what's the problem with Islam?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, and I get similar answers to what you said to me before we had the podcast. Well, are they putting pressure on you? Are they trying to radicalize you? And like all these crazy words. And Islamophobia is so bad in this country.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to state the beautiful people that I've worked with who have told me these horrific stories of Islamophobia, and it's just not representative. Just like with how people talk about Luton.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, don't you think?
Yeah,
like,
the moment I tell someone I'm from Luton, it's like the face they pull is like, I don't know, that I've told them I'm from the depths of hell. Like, honestly, I'm like, it's really not that bad, guys.
But it's the same with Islam. You say, like, you know, I've been around some really old white people before, and then I've got a young Muslim friend of mine that states that he's Muslim, and they recoil in horror, like as if he's done something wrong, or as if his religion has done something wrong, and that's not true in the slightest bit. Not in the slightest bit. I mean, like, you know, you can speak to it more than what I can, but from my personal experience of Muslims, has only been positive. Yeah. It's only been positive. Like, look, you're going to get bad eggs in every community, no matter where you go, 100%. But they are not representative of the community.
The whole, and
unfortunately, I think that's what the media in this country tends to do.
Yeah, they pick out, oh, you know, everyone's like this, or if you're from Luton, then, you know, you're, I don't know, the like scum of the earth. And it's like, actually, we're really good eggs. Yeah. We're good people.
And not to mention, you know, like, people are going to say bad things about Luton. We're one of the most giving towns in the country.
Exactly. So we're really bad, but actually,
we give so much. How does that make any sense? You know what I mean? But then not only that, we have a really big proportion of people in the town that are Muslim, and Muslims, by and large, are the most giving people in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I agree.
They are by far, like, oh my God, COVID taught me that massively. But not only that, it's more so the work that I get to do and the people I get to interact with. If I was to say percentage-wise, who does the most, it's by far Muslims in this town. And I just think it's really important to state this, because there is a lot of non-Muslim people in the town that wouldn't know that. And it's not to say that they might be like racist or whatever, or against that religion. They just don't know. Yeah, they've not been exposed to it. And to all of those people, I encourage you massively to come down to any events that are run by many of the great Muslims that represent this town. Come to Eid, man. Oh my days! Like, when Eid's on,
banging. The Eid festivals, they're great.
Yeah, I mean, I got to come. I turned up like no suit and stuff because I got invited, but my suit was just busted. And I just couldn't be bothered to fix it, so I just turned up and like had a little walk around and stuff. But it was great. It was such a great day.
Blend in with everyone. Like,
I do like to do that. Like, just be a face in the crowd, kind of like you know.
Just be a face in the crowd, just to walk by. And
but. No, I'm so glad that like you found Islam in the way that you did, and it's helped you so much, and it's probably accentuated all your good qualities, right?
Yeah, I feel like 100%, 100%, and I think, like, you know, it's just, I don't know, sometimes whether you have some, you know, it's good to have, how do I say it, like, there's people that have faith and people that don't have faith, and they can be just as good as people. Like my grandma, she's quite a religious person, but my granddad, like, he is by far the most non-religious person in the world. Like, he always cracked jokes saying, oh, you know, like, where I'm going, it's going to be hot, so it's all good. And I'm like, can you not say that, please? Come on, Gramps. Like, don't say that. But the thing is, like, he is genuinely the nicest guy in the world. Yeah. And he would give you 110%. Yeah. But he doesn't believe in anything. Yeah. So I think, you know, everyone's different, and we're all, and I think that's what makes us unique in our own ways, that we're all so different, and we all act certain ways and do certain things, and, you know, it makes us the people that we are. Yeah. I think if we were all the same, it'd be so boring.
No, exactly. I totally agree. I mean, you know, one of the things I really, one of the misconceptions that I definitely had before I started coming to discover Islam is I did genuinely think that it was going to be shoved down my throat every time that I came. That it would be like, so have you read a bit of the Quran yet? Like that kind of thing. And, you know, just slipping me the odd book every now and then, like, come on, what do you think? What do you think? And honestly, nobody's ever pressured me at all there. Not one time. I've never walked in and that's been the subject. No. I'm an inquisitive person by nature, so I ask questions and I get the information
and
back.
That's what you know, it's all about, you know, whether it's Discover Islam or anything like that. I mean, the team there are great.
They're amazing.
Love Gosima.
Gosima is like, she's worse than anybody for not wanting people to know what she does.
Oh gosh,
it is so infuriating.
She's the most humble person I've ever met as well.
She is.
love her to pieces.
She's incredible. She told me her story of how she found Islam in the way that she did, because obviously her family's from Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was telling me about that sort of stuff, and how obviously I won't go into too much detail because she's so private. She's probably going to slap me for this. But it's important because she found Islam and in a family that wasn't very strict Muslims. They were quite laid back kind of Muslims, and she told me that when her dad first moved over here, he really tried to westernize his girls because he didn't want them to be bullied. And it makes so much sense, right? Like, you know, I can understand that. But Golsima is so into her faith, and she really follows it well. And not only that, she embodies the charity side of it perfectly. I mean, almost too perfectly, because people do need to know about you to be then inspired by you to do good stuff. And with Golsima, I think that she maybe is on the other end of the spectrum.
She
where
likes to hide.
She
shouldn't hide because
she
so
shouldn't.
awesome.
She's so amazing, and more people in this town should know who
I'm
she
gonna
is.
convince her to come and talk to you.
I would love it. I seriously
be like,
would.
Please, for me. Will you go talk to him?
No, I mean, the one argument I always make, I said it to Mustak, and I think I won him over, you know, because Mustak's the same. He's very humble. He's very quiet.
He is a very humble guy.
Yeah, I mean, he told me before the podcast that he was super nervous, and then when he gets on the podcast, he wouldn't shut up.
Do you know? That's it. Once he gets going,
he just goes. Yeah, but he's the same kind of person. He said to me, because I said, you know, you should be like louder and prouder about how great you are, and he was like, no, I'm not great. I'm just doing my bit and blah. And I was like, yeah, but mate, think about it like this. And this is what I say to everybody out here. Here's my little tip of the week, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. If you imagine yourself to be a small child that gets to look up to you as an adult, how much more inspirational is that to you as a child?
Like that.
Yeah, just imagine.
I like that.
Imagine little Aimee gets to see what big Aimee's done, and just think what then little Aimee can achieve through seeing what you've done.
If I was little me looking at me, I'd be like, I'm so damn proud of you.
In it. And then just think what that little girl can go on to achieve with having you as the inspiration. And that's why it's important. I mean, there's a lot of little Aimees out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little Deadpools out there. That's how I see
100%.
it.
100%. And I think it's true. Like I've got younger siblings, and you know, even my sister, she's my best friend. And even she was always saying to me, like, you're my inspiration, I look up to you, I'm so proud of you. And she constantly, on a daily basis, will say, I'm proud of you, I love you, you're my best friend, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, wow, thanks. Yeah. And like, sometimes it's like the most random, like even my friends around me be like, look, we love you, you're great. And I'm like, that's random, but thanks. Like, they're like, no, but you don't accept it, and that's what you need to accept. Like,
yeah.
So Sujil's convinced me that I can run the London Marathon.
Yes, I know.
So obviously, you know, Sujil, I feel like he can give you
He's
the
incredible.
Boost. Do you know what? He can make you feel like you can conquer the world.
Yeah.
And it's great. And obviously, I was like, yeah, I can do this London Marathon. I'm coming. Great. I've signed up. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Yeah. And then when I thought about it, like, it was like, actually, you know what? Like, because in my head, it was like, oh, I'll do it for my 30th birthday because that's what you want to do on your 30th. You want to treat yourself to doing the London Marathon. And then it was like, but what if you don't get to 30, then what? And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll do it now while I'm 28. I'll do it. Yeah,
why not?
So it's kind of another tick off my bucket list sort of thing. Yeah. Hannah's doing it, so that's great. Even though I'd like to say that I've started training more than he has.
Oh my God, I spoke to him the other... So, you know, I had my podcast with him the other night, yeah? He ran home after that for training.
Good.
He was
proud of him.
He was like, mate, I just need to get some training in. I was like, hold on, you're going to run back in the club. He wasn't dressed for it at all, but he was like, I'm going to have to do... Time's running out, mate.
We don't have long, and my guy is like, I'll get a few.
And not only that, but Ramadan's around the corner.
I know, and that's the thing, like, for me personally, I can't afford to miss out on a month of training. So I need to try and figure out how
are you going to, this is what I don't get. Like, and this is another reason to highlight such an amazing thing that Muslims are able to do, which is the month of fasting. Well, it's not quite a month, is it? But you know what I mean. It's about a month, yeah. Give or take a few days here or there. But anyway, the point is that the time that you spend fasting is like, oh, man, boys at school that I'd go to school with, and they wouldn't eat all day long, have water maybe. Some of them were even so strict they wouldn't even touch water.
Yeah, we're not supposed to. That's it. Once you close your fast, that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, the mental strength that it takes to do that, I just can't relate at all.
And I think that's another thing. Like this, for me, I suppose this Ramadan will be like, obviously you're training for a marathon, but you're also fasting. You're gonna try and better yourself. Because I feel like for me personally, every Ramadan I'll try and better myself. To be a better person, to be a better Muslim. Like just learn something new or learn multiple things. So I'm like, I'm gonna have that. But I'm also going to have to keep training, because if I miss a month, I'm not doing 26 miles for no one. I might do 10 miles and done. So I'm like, hey, this is going to have to work somehow. Like, it might just be that maybe, when I don't know, break my fast, that I have a little light snack, go for a run, and then come home.
My God, your days are going to be so long. It's just, it really stresses me out when I think about just Ramadan on its own is such a stressful, like, hard period of time, and I'm so proud that I have friends that can do that.
Like a lot of people think that it is really stressful and hard and all of that, but I say we, like me as a Muslim, I know a lot of other Muslims as well who think the same way. We love this time of year. We can't wait for it to come back again.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And, like, it's true, like, because it's one of the, obviously, like, it's a holy month, and it's a time for you to kind of reflect and learn and just maybe do better.
Wait, so it is a month?
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot.
It's like, yeah, it's a month.
See, I'm so stupid. I just don't know anything. Disclaimer, I know nothing about Islam other than the things I'm told by people, and anything else that I say is just made up in my head and it's assumptions, all right? So I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me, anybody out there that is offended by my words, because I say stupid things all the time, and I'm sure that people are going to understand. I'm a guy in a mask. I'm not a professor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to be smart. I'm supposed to be stupid.
I don't think you're stupid. I think you're actually quite smart, actually.
Do you really?
I do. I've learned quite.
You're like the first person to have said that.
I've learned some interesting facts from you.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay, I can't tell you the interesting facts I learned earlier.
Do you want to know a really interesting fact?
Tell me a new fact.
The national animal of Scotland, is, do you know it?
No.
The unicorn.
What?
Oh yeah, I know, right?
But that's not even a real thing.
Yeah, it's the animal of Scotland. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll have to Google that afterwards. I know stupid, irrelevant facts. Here's the
Can I just say, if you was on a game show and that came up, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. I'd be good on pointless, actually. I'm pretty good on pointless. I sit there, I can answer most of the questions on that. But it's just like, I told you about my whole thing with my diary. And how stupid I am. Okay, so I'm just sorry to bore you with the same story again.
That is a funny story.
It is kind of funny. It was literally just the other day. So I lost my diary, right? And I've got a diary. So my brain just doesn't work properly. It's broken. There's years of abuse, right? And it's just broken because of it. And if I write down like what I'm supposed to be doing in my phone, it just doesn't sink in. Like I was talking to somebody last night about this, because it seems that a lot of people do this actually. So I'll set an alarm to remind myself to do something, right?
Yeah.
And then, it comes up like an hour before the alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you have an alarm that's about, I'm just like, go away. And then the alarm's gone. The alarm's gone. So whatever I was going to do is also gone.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, for some reason, the only way that I can do anything is if I physically write it down. So I've got this Deadpool diary where I write all my Deadpool things in. It's filled up like across the majority of the year already at this point, which is just so stressful, but whatever. So my whole life is in there, yeah? Every time when I lose it, and that happens at least 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
Every time I lose it, I spend like, the other day, I spent 2 hours looking everywhere I flipped like my bed over. I tore the sofa apart. Like I looked in the dog's bed. How stupid can I be to look in the dog? Yeah, I was like, you never know.
Could take it.
I looked in the fridge at one point. Like I literally looked everywhere. And then I called my missus because I was like, I'm just sick of looking, and she knows everything, right? Because she's a genius. I'm stupid. She's a genius. And I said to her, "Do you know where my diary is?" And she was like, "Why would I know where your diary is?" Firstly, and she's right.
Fair point.
She's got no business knowing where my diary is. And I was like, "Come on, jog my mind, like,
What have I done?
give me some juice. Like, where do I go? What do I look for?" And she's like, "Have you looked on the bedroom floor?" I just sort of chuckled, and I was like, "No, come on, don't play me for a fool. It's got to be in a more complicated place than that." So I was like, "Do you know what? I'm just gonna have a look. I'm gonna see. You might be right." I go up the stairs. Oh bloody hell! It's right there, right banging. There's nothing else anywhere. My floor is brown and the diary is black and red. It stands out massively. I actually remember at one point I put my foot on the diary. I looked down. I was like, What's that? And I just carried on walking. And that's what I'm like. I'm an idiot. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I thank you for saying I'm intelligent or whatever, but I seriously am not.
I mean, I just love the random facts. Like, the random facts that you chuck out, I'm thinking I never would have known that.
Yeah, I want to do an entire show on just random facts.
Listen,
where maybe I do like a one-man show, and I'm like, I
would tune in. Do it
shout
live. I
random
would
facts
tune
at
in.
you.
Do it like a phone-in, so I can phone in.
Oh my god,
great. I love
that's
that.
good. Maybe I could do like a Instagram live or something.
Yeah.
Where I like
people to
come on and talk about some interesting facts.
Tell me some interesting facts that you know. I'll be calling my granddad like, I need some interesting facts. I'm not that clever. I need some facts.
Oh man, yeah. Oh no, I like all that stuff. I like weird facts. I like things like where it's like really strange and makes no sense. Like there was one that I learned years ago when I was in school. I don't know how true this is now, if they've like changed the laws now, because it used to be a thing, right? That I'm sure someone's going to DM me and tell me that I'm an idiot again. But I definitely learned this from someone at some point in my life, that legally it's okay to kill a Welshman as long as you use a crossbow, yeah? And as long as it's at dusk in Cheshire.
There is no
I swear. I learned this when I was doing. I done a public services course when I left college because I wanted to be a paramedic. Right?
Nice.
I'm not a paramedic. That went pretty badly. But when I was there, this guy who was a cop, he was an ex-cop, and he was telling us some really interesting laws and loopholes and stuff like that. He showed me this whole stuff, and that was one of them. And it's just always stuck in my mind because I don't know any Welsh people, but if I ever find one that I hate, I know what I can do. I know what I can do to solve that problem.
That is the most random fact that I've ever heard.
It's probably wrong. I'm not going to lie. I'm very gullible as well. This is my problem.
Yeah,
people
but
tell me things.
Sometimes I can be. I can be so. Sometimes someone says stuff, and I'm like, really? And they're like, no, come on. Like, come on, how? Like, are you dumb? And I'm like, well, kind of. Sometimes.
It's okay to be stupid sometimes, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was sort of saying about earlier about the whole making mistakes thing. Like, everybody's so afraid to make mistakes.
Listen, I've made my fair share of mistakes, but there's two ways. People make mistakes, and then they continue to make the same mistakes. So therefore, you're not learning from your mistakes. You're just purposely doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's people that make mistakes, and they look back and they think, oh, like, I shouldn't have done that. And they adjust, and they change, and they don't do that mistake again.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, some people can make the same mistake once, twice, 3 times you're pushing it. But
the third time you're smack around the head.
Yeah, like, come on, like, you've got to learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Like, especially even if someone says to you, like, oh, you shouldn't have really done that, or that's not too good, you shouldn't be doing that. And then they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to change, or I'm going to fix that. I'm sorry, I'll fix it, don't worry. And then they do it again, and then again. And I just think, okay,
it becomes a bit purposeful at a certain point, yeah.
Everyone, no one is perfect. We are all that have flaws, and we all make mistakes. But it's what you do to, like, if you want to change that.
Yeah.
Maybe you just want to continue making the mistakes and not learning from them. But I do feel like there is a massive thing about learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, and do you know what? The people that have that problem are the kinds of people that can't ever admit that they're wrong.
Oh, don't.
That infuriates me. I had a friend who lost me a vast quantity of money. Wow. Because I basically trusted him so I wanted to get a motorbike, right?
Yeah.
And I was really desperate to get this motorbike, but I didn't have a motorbike in mind. I just knew that I wanted to get one and that I needed to do a test. I wanted to get all my equipment, all of that stuff I wanted to do first, and then I wanted to get the bike. But this friend, when I told him, because he's really good on bikes, I was like, give me some advice, blah, blah. He was like, oh, I've got a friend that actually is selling a bike that's £1,000, but I'll sell it to you for £400 and blah, 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 blah. And we just went along this back and forth. And I really didn't want to do it. And eventually I just agreed. I just agreed. And I spent the £400, got the bike, and it sat in my hallway for 2 years.
How did your missus not bat you?
Oh, she battered me plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Someone had bought a bike and left it in my hallway.
She was so fuming. Yeah, she'd like, you have to like breathe like this to get past it. Yeah, that's how bad it was. Like super in the way. And then so the 2 years went past, and she was like, right, you have to get rid of it because you're never going to learn how to ride it or anything. So just get it gone. So I said to him about it, and I was like, look, man, I really need to get this gone now. And he's like, right, I'll give you £150 for it.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, he said 200. He said £200 for it. And I was like, are you joking? Like, considering that what you done to make me buy the bike. He's like, I never made you buy the bike. Yeah, I know. And we went back and forth on it, and he was adamant that he never. And this is just like his whole thing is that, you know, when I said to him, you wasted my money, he took it offensively. And there are some people who just can't see the error of their ways, and they can't hold their hands up and go, you know what, I'm a dick, I'm really sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But you know what? There are certain, like, there are people out there who are like that. And if they held their hands up and said, like, you know, look, sorry, I messed up, then people would be like, okay, that's no problem.
Yeah.
But the more and more that you're like, I'm not the problem, you're the problem. And it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You can't keep blaming other people for your mistakes.
Yeah.
And take some responsibility and be like, yeah, I messed up. But do you know what? I'll make a difference, or I'll make a change. Or do you know what? Yeah, I messed up, but I don't want to make a change. I just want to carry on being the person I am. Great, cool with you. I don't want to be pals with you. Like, you know, I'm all for, if people admit their mistakes or admit when they're wrong, and you know they're willing to somehow make a change or make a difference to them internally, then great. I can stay. We can stay friends. We can fix this. But if you're consistently just chucking out this, like, nope, it's always your fault.
I'm so glad that you've got this mentality, because obviously being in the places where you work, you need to be able to like give people chances and stuff. But at the same time, like, there needs to be a bit of a firm hand with the attitude.
Sometimes people do take my kindness. People do take advantage of my kindness, and I know that. I've seen it. And my kindness is, as much as it's like one of my best qualities, it's also my worst.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm blind to certain things, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, but why would someone do that to me? And then it's like, it takes someone else, like an outsider, to then be like, yeah, but look how kind you were. Yeah. And look at what they've done to you. Yeah. So like, maybe you need to take a step back. I'm like, oh no, but they said they're going to change, and then they've not changed. And I'm like, okay, actually, I do need to cut away from you because you're not changing, and I'm now getting hurt, and that's not cool. And it took a lot. It took a actually.
I mean, do you know what? I actually asked tricycle for a cat.
You know what I mean? So then I ended up having this snake. You know what? I can make
Or
in the sense that like people have got dogs and stuff, and she's an indoor cat, so she just sits at the window and watches the world go by. But there's this big, massive dog that lives a few floors up, and every time he's out, and honestly, like he looks like that sort of dog that would eat me alive.
yeah.
And she'll tap at the window, and he starts going nuts. And I'm like, why?
Like, wind him up.
Why? Because
Wind
if you
him
ever
up.
get
That's
out, he's
brilliant.
coming for you. I can't save you. He's coming for you. And the little chihuahua dog.
I love
is
that.
the
I love
same.
that. It's like kind of taps on the window, like dance
Hey.
for me, dance for me, boy.
That is my cat. And I'm like, oh, do you know if you were out there, you would not be.
Yeah, sitting there like, hey, Aimee, look at this fool. Look at him. Look, he can't do anything.
I know, and I'm sitting there like, if you were outside, this would be a whole different kettle of fish. You would be hiding, running.
Oh my god, that's so funny. How did we get onto this?
I don't know. I feel like
This is our problem. We will just honestly.
random.
I feel like if we woke up at like 8 a.m, came here at like 12 at night.
Yeah.
I have about no idea how we got final topic.
No.
It's actually
About random.
yeah. Because there is a camera on us. Sorry.
Forgot about that.
No, but can we talk about some things that you guys have got coming up?
Yeah, so I mean we've got our launch event coming up, Community Interest launch event. So you know once that's open, then people can start nominating their heroes.
Get nominating.
Yes. So from after the 8th of March, you can start submitting. We've got some new categories.
Yep.
So that's fun.
I will definitely. There's a lot of people that I want to nominate for this year.
We are here for this.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got some exciting new ones that will, at the launch event they'll be announced. So that'll be good. What else have we got coming up? There's a few other little bits and bobs. Maybe another tea party coming up.
Oh, lovely.
But that's again in the mist. Details to be confirmed.
Yeah.
Obviously the Love Luton Run Fest is open, so we'll be getting a team together again to do the running.
I'm definitely joining your team this year.
Are you gonna run?
I'm running this year.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've got the all clear. I'm good. I can run.
Love that. So yeah, you can sign up. I mean, at the minute they've obviously got the 25% discount thing going on. So we've applied that to our website. So
people sign up. Good time.
You can sign up through our website and join our team. We're hoping to be bigger and better. Obviously, we've got the volunteer side as well, so we'll be doing that. And then obviously the awards at the end of the year in November, and we've just got a few other little secret bits coming up.
I can't wait to find out because I know Community Interest puts on the best events. We've
got some fun bits coming up, so it'd be good for people to keep an eye out.
Yeah,
it'll be a good year of fun and bringing people together.
Oh, that's awesome.
And raising money for food banks. Food banks are chosen.
Of course, that's your chosen charity this year. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's obviously their 10 years as well.
I seriously, I look forward to it so much. Like everything that's coming up, like I say, you guys just do it best.
Maybe you coming to this event? I'll come to this event.
Yeah, 100%. I'll go away. Any events that you guys are going to put on.
Invited. Bring me back.
Love you, Luke. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was great.